The story of King Richard III's remains took yet another interesting turn Wednesday. 500 years after the king died in the Battle of Bosworth, he's now being thrust into another one, a battle over his bones. The BBC reports King Richard was given a hurried burial beneath the Church of Greyfriars in the centre of Leicester. Greyfriars Church was demolished during the Reformation in the 16th century, and over the following centuries, its exact location was forgotten. It ended up being replaced with a parking lot, which is where his bones were discovered back in September. They were confirmed as the king's this week. Plans were then made to have his bones reburied at the neighboring Leicester Cathedral. But not everyone agrees that's where King Richard III would have wanted to be buried, especially tourism agency Welcome to Yorkshire. The agency's chief executive told the Northern Echo, "We believe that the remains of Richard III should be returned to Yorkshire, his childhood and spiritual home. He has been described as the country's only northern king, and we think it would be appropriate for him to rest in peace in the north." The agency also took to Twitter to bring him home and created a petition nearing 7,000 signatures. They argue moving his remains would also place him geographically closer to the remains of his son, Edward the Prince of Wales, whose remains lie in Sheriff Hutton Church. Leicester also created a petition to keep Richard there where he was originally buried. The Daily Mirror reports the exhumation license issued by the Ministry of Justice says the remains should be buried in Leicester, and preparations for burial at the city's cathedral have already started. For Newsy, I'm Lauren Goris.